of Satan's greatest soldiers was King Von.
In the game of hip-hop, there was no bigger force to be reckoned with than King Von, the demon of O-Block himself, from scaring the hell out of Quando Rondo.
Boom, bam. I walk from the car. I turn around to walk up. I see a group. It's like I had an out-of-body experience.
To having NLE Choppa confess his ruthless attitude and behavior.
He was dead, bruh. If he wanted you out of there, he'll go do it himself on feet by himself. He was dead.
King Von's reputation spoke for him, as a lot of heavyweights in the rap scene were scared of him. Here are some of the rap legends who deeply feared King Von. FBG Duck. The Chicago rap scene, known for its raw and unfiltered storytelling, has birthed some of the most influential artists in hip-hop. Among them were FBG Duck and King Von, two rappers whose lives and careers were deeply intertwined with the city's notorious gang culture. FBG Duck, born Carlton Weekly, emerged from the South Side's turbulent streets, aligning himself with the gangster disciples. His music, characterized by its gritty realism, resonated with many who lived similar struggles. Duck's breakout hit, Slide, catapulted him into the spotlight, earning him a dedicated following. On the other side was King Von, born Davon Daquan Bennett, a charismatic figure from the Black Disciples. Von's storytelling prowess and vivid depictions of street life quickly garnered attention. His debut album, Welcome to O-Block, solidified his place in the rap hierarchy. However, beneath the surface of their musical success lay a simmering tension rooted in the long-standing rivalry between their respective gangs. This animosity was further fueled by personal grievances and diss tracks, setting the stage for a feud that would ultimately have deadly consequences.
Man, Duck lied, man. Ain't nothing kick with him, man. Be lying.
As the rivalry between FBG Duck and King Von intensified, the Chicago streets became a battleground for their escalating feud. Diss tracks flew back and forth, each more incendiary than the last, as both rappers used their music to taunt and provoke one another. The tension reached a boiling point in the summer of 2020, with rumors swirling about a potential hit being placed on FBG Duck. In the months preceding the tragic incident, the rivalry between King Von and FBG Duck was at an all-time high. Both artists were at the peak of their careers, with their music gaining traction not just in Chicago, but across the nation. However, beneath the surface of their success lay a simmering conflict that was about to reach a boiling point.
Then when we found out you was claiming that what we do? Beat your ass on the bus on Tuga.
According to the declassified documents, a confidential informant provided crucial information that would later become central to the investigation. This informant claimed that King Von had initially placed a $50,000 bounty on FBG Duck's life. This revelation was shocking in itself, but what followed was even more startling. The informant alleged that Von, dissatisfied with the lack of immediate action, decided to double the bounty to a staggering $100,000. This decision marked a significant escalation in the feud, indicating that Von was willing to go to extreme lengths to settle scores. The informant's claims did not end there. They also detailed how King Von allegedly rewarded those involved in the execution of the hit. It is reported that Von purchased custom O-Block chains for the individuals responsible for carrying out the deadly act. These chains, a symbol of loyalty and affiliation to Von's crew, were more than just jewelry. They were a testament to the gravity of the situation and the lengths to which Von was willing to go to maintain his street credibility. On August 4th, 2020, tragedy struck. FBG Duck was gunned down in broad daylight in Chicago's upscale Gold Coast neighborhood, a shocking act of violence that sent ripples through the city and the hip-hop community. The brazen attack, which lasted a mere 12 seconds, saw 38 shots fired, 16 of which struck Duck. His murder was not just a loss for his family and fans, but a grim reminder of the deadly stakes involved in the rap game. In the aftermath, allegations surfaced that King Von had ordered a $100,000 hit on Duck, a claim that added fuel to the fire of an already volatile situation. Mama Duck, FBG Duck's mother, publicly voiced her fears and suspicions, pointing to evidence that suggested Von's involvement. You know how devious you gotta be for the mother of a gangster to be deeply scared of you. That's the kind of person King Von was. Up next is Lil Durk, another Chicago rapper who was basically King Von's mentor and brother from another mother, Lil Durk. Lil Durk and King Von's story begins in the gritty streets of Chicago, a city known for its vibrant music scene and challenging environment. Both artists hail from the infamous O-Block, a neighborhood that has produced some of the most influential figures in the drill music genre. Growing up in this environment, they were exposed to the harsh realities of street life, which heavily influenced their music and personas. Lil Durk, born Dirk Devontae Banks, started his journey in the music industry in the early 2010s. With a unique blend of melodic hooks and raw lyrics, he quickly gained a following. His early mixtapes, such as I'm a Hitter and Life Ain't No Joke, showcased his potential and set the stage for his rise to fame. King Von entered the music scene later, but his impact was immediate. With a natural talent for storytelling and a charismatic presence, Von quickly captured the attention of fans and industry insiders alike. His breakout single, Crazy Story, became an anthem, propelling him into the spotlight. Throughout the years, Durk and Von formed a strong bond. Often people will refer to each other as brothers because of this. The bond may not be blood, but it feels like one. Sometimes, the older person in the relationship becomes a mentor. Lil Durk was older than King Von and a mentor of sorts to him, helping him focus on his music. Despite Durk being a mentor to Von, Durk was aware of the very troubled past that Von had, and knew he had to stay on his toes and exercise a level of caution. I mean, this was a guy who was charged with 1 count of murder and 2 counts of attempted murder just at the age of 20.
So you was in jail for 2 murders?
Yeah, 1 murder and 2 attempts. I just beat.
How you beat that?
What you mean I beat?
I mean, you didn't do it.
The friendship between Lil Durk and King Von was more than just a professional alliance. It was a brotherhood forged in the fires of their shared past. Durk saw in Von a younger version of himself, someone who was fearless and unapologetically real. This connection was evident in their collaborations, such as Crazy Story 2.0 and All These Niggas, where their chemistry was undeniable. Both men not only shared the recording booth, but they also shared the court stand.
Well, we dropped that song. We dropped the song and dropped it like, we did the song and dropped it like a week. And we was getting all type of calls. I'm like, damn, this crazy.
Both Lil Durk and King Von found themselves at the center of a high-stakes legal battle. Both of them faced serious felony charges, including attempted murder. The charges stem from a shocking incident on February 5th, 2019, at the Varsity, a popular Atlanta drive-in, where Alexander Witherspoon was allegedly shot and robbed of his Jeep Cherokee and $30,000 in cash. During the tense probable cause hearing, prosecutors presented their case, while the defense argued self-defense, claiming Witherspoon had a gun. Both men maintained their innocence, and the charges were eventually dropped in 2022. Up next is a name that comes up every time King Von is mentioned, the man who had a hand in his eventual death, Quando Rondo. Quando Rondo. The hip-hop scene in the 2010s was a fiercely competitive one. You either get pushed to the side or you rise to the top. Among these rising stars were King Von and Quando Rondo, 2 rappers whose paths would eventually cross in a way that neither could have anticipated. In Savannah, Georgia, Tiquian Terrell Bowman, known professionally as Quando Rondo, was carving out his own path in the industry. Growing up in a city with its own set of challenges, Quando found solace in music, using it as an outlet to express his struggles and aspirations. Quando Rondo's rise to fame was marked by a series of successful releases, including his debut mixtape Life Before Fame in 2018. The project showcased his versatility and ability to connect with listeners on a personal level, earning him critical acclaim and a growing fan base. Collaborations with prominent artists further boosted his profile, and by the time he released his debut studio album Q-Pack in 2020, Quando had firmly established himself as a force to be reckoned with in the hip-hop scene. Despite their different backgrounds, both King Von and Quando Rondo shared a common ambition to succeed in the competitive world of music. Their respective journeys were marked by perseverance and a relentless pursuit of their dreams, qualities that endeared them to fans and industry insiders alike. However, as their stars continued to rise, so too did the tensions that would eventually lead to their fateful encounter. The events leading up to November 6th, 2020 were shaped by a complex web of rivalries and alliances within the hip-hop community. King Von's association with Lil Durk and the Only the Family label positioned him as a key figure in the Chicago rap scene, while Quando Rondo's connections in Georgia and beyond solidified his presence in the industry. As their paths began to intersect, the potential for conflict loomed large, fueled by the competitive nature of the music business and the personal dynamics at play.
So that night when you was in the parking lot, what led up to you even being in the parking lots? I know you were sleeping in the car.
On the night of November 6th, the simmering tensions between King Von and Quando Rondo came to a head outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta. The tragic events that unfolded would leave an indelible mark on the hip-hop world, forever altering the lives of those involved and sparking a conversation about the dangers of rivalries within the industry. As the clock ticked past midnight on November 6, 2020, the atmosphere outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta was charged with anticipation. The venue, a popular spot for nightlife in the city, was bustling with activity, drawing in crowds eager to enjoy the evening. Among those present were King Von and his entourage, who had arrived to celebrate the release of his latest project. Unbeknownst to them, the night would take a tragic turn that would reverberate throughout the hip-hop community.
And go to sleep.
Right, by yourself.
Boom, bam. I walk from the car. I turn around to walk up. I see a group of, it's like I had an out-of-body experience.
Quando Rondo, who was also in Atlanta that night, found himself in a precarious situation. Reports suggest that he was asleep in his car outside the lounge, unaware of the brewing storm. As the night unfolded, tensions between the two crews began to escalate, fueled by a history of rivalry and perceived slights. The stage was set for a confrontation that would have devastating consequences. The altercation began when King Von's crew reportedly approached Quando Rondo's vehicle, leading to a heated exchange. Accounts of the incident vary, but it is widely believed that King Von acted as the aggressor, confronting Quando in a manner that left little room for de-escalation. The situation quickly spiraled out of control, with fists flying and chaos erupting in the parking lot. In the midst of the melee, Timothy Lil Tim Leaks, a close associate of Quando Rondo, took decisive action. In what was later described as an act of self-defense, Lil Tim pulled out a firearm and shot King Von, fatally wounding him. The sound of gunfire pierced the night, sending shockwaves through the crowd and leaving those present in a state of disbelief.
In my head, I'm like, why somebody with my little brother, you feel me? It's like, that's what's really going through my head at the moment when it first popped off.
Fast forward to November 25th, 2022, Quando Rondo dropped a bombshell with the release of 3860, a joint album with NBA Youngboy. The track Want Me Dead reignited the feud with its provocative lyrics, targeting King Von and his sister, Kayla B. The diss track was a calculated move, adding fuel to the fire and ensuring that the rivalry remained a hot topic in the hip-hop community. Up next, we're pointing the light at the suspected killer of King Von himself, Lil Tim, and what led him to pull the trigger. Lil Tim. Known off stage as Timothy Leaks, Lil Tim found himself embroiled in a dispute that would forever alter his life. The tension was thick as he faced King Von, a figure whose reputation struck fear into many. As the night unfolded at the Monaco Hookah Lounge, fear and adrenaline collided, leading to a violent encounter that left the hip-hop community reeling. Lil Tim, born Timothy Leaks, hails from Savannah, Georgia. He was a rising figure in the hip-hop scene, known for his association with fellow rapper Quando Rondo. Lil Tim's life was marred by legal troubles. In August of 2020, authorities seized a cache of firearms and 15 pounds of marijuana from his possession, leading to charges of conspiracy to violate the Georgia Controlled Substance Act, theft by receiving stolen property, and obstruction. These charges painted a picture of a young man entangled in a world of crime, struggling to balance his aspirations with the harsh realities of his environment. The relationship between Lil Tim and King Von was not one of friendship, but rather of rivalry, exacerbated by their associations with different factions within the rap community. Lil Tim's close ties with Quando Rondo, who had his own tensions with King Von, added another layer of complexity to their relationship. The animosity between these groups simmered beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to erupt. On the night of November 6th, 2020, the stage was set for a fateful encounter. The Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta, a popular nightlife destination, became the meeting point for these two groups. As the night progressed, the atmosphere grew tense. Lil Tim, along with Quando Rondo and their entourage, found themselves in the same vicinity as King Von and his crew. TMZ reported that previous to the brawl, Quando was napping in a car outside the nightclub, waking to find King Von and his crew angrily approaching him and his associates. There was footage of Von throwing punches at Quando Rondo prior to the gunfight. In the midst of the chaos, gunfire erupted, shattering the night and sending shockwaves through the crowd. The sound of shots being fired added a new level of terror to the already volatile situation.
Well, you pull out and you shoot 4 times.
Yeah, the gun jammed.
Oh, the gun jammed?
Yeah.
After the 4th shot?
Probably like the 3rd shot.
It was in this moment of confusion and fear that the tragic outcome was sealed. King Von, a rising star in the hip-hop world, was struck by gunfire and fell to the ground, mortally wounded. The scene was one of horror and disbelief as those present grappled with the sudden and violent turn of events. As the dust began to settle, the full extent of the tragedy became apparent. In addition to King Von, 5 other individuals were shot and wounded during the altercation, including Lil Tim, who was identified as a key figure in the incident. The police quickly moved to secure the area, providing medical assistance to the injured, and beginning the process of piecing together the sequence of events that had led to such a devastating outcome.
You end up getting shot twice?
Right.
Well, what parts of the body?
I get shot in my right hip bone, and I get shot on my ass. It go in and out though.
Up next is another popular rapper who was allegedly always at odds with King Von, NBA Youngboy. NBA YoungBoy, born Kentrell Deshaun Gaulden, emerged from the streets of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, with a raw and authentic style that quickly resonated with fans. His journey to fame was marked by a turbulent upbringing, legal troubles, and a relentless work ethic that saw him release a series of successful mixtapes. By the time he was in his late teens, YoungBoy had already established himself as a force to be reckoned with in the hip-hop industry, known for his emotive storytelling and gritty lyrics. As YoungBoy and Von climbed the ranks, their paths inevitably crossed, leading to whispers of tension.
You know what people told me? People told me you and YoungBoy was beefing or something like that.
I know they
said something
said
about
that a lot.
what happened, Von? What's going on with you, man?
They be saying that a lot. It's like we got the same issues.
The whispers became louder after NBA YoungBoy released Bring the Hook. The track contained a diss towards King Von's O Block, igniting a firestorm of responses from Lil Durk and others in the Chicago rap scene. This escalation added fuel to the fire, captivating the hip-hop community and setting the stage for a dramatic confrontation. The release of NBA YoungBoy's track Bring the Hook marked a pivotal moment in the unfolding drama between him and King Von, dropped ahead of his Colors mixtape. The song quickly became the talk of the town, especially in Chicago. YoungBoy's lyrics took a direct shot at the notorious O Block, a place deeply connected to King Von's legacy. The line, "O Block Pack get rolled up," was perceived as a blatant diss, stirring up emotions among Chicago natives and fans of King Von. The track's provocative nature did not go unnoticed. Lil Durk, a close friend and collaborator of King Von, took to social media to express his disapproval. He posted a photo on Instagram, flexing stacks of cash and chains with a caption that read, "Don't claim it, if you ain't do it, you still a bitch," a clear jab at YoungBoy's audacious claims. Von's sister, Kayla B, also chimed in on Twitter, questioning YoungBoy's authenticity by saying, "On demon time in the house on house arrest, getting these streets." These reactions contributed to the growing narrative that NBA YoungBoy was scared of King Von. The intensity of the responses from Von's allies suggested that YoungBoy's diss track was a defensive move, a way to assert dominance in a situation where he felt threatened. This perception was amplified by the fact that YoungBoy was on house arrest at the time, leading many to question whether his words were a reflection of genuine fear masked by bravado. Up next is Tooka, a 15-year-old Chicago rapper who was shot dead by King Von's gang. Tooka. In the heart of Chicago, a city often synonymous with its vibrant hip-hop culture and notorious gang rivalries, the tragic tale of Shondell Tooka Gregory unfolds. At just 15 years old, Tooka found himself entangled in the dangerous web of gang affiliations, allegedly aligning with the Gangster Disciples. This affiliation placed him in direct opposition to the Black Disciples, a rival gang with which King Von was associated. Shondell Tooka Gregory was a young teenager growing up in the challenging environment of Chicago's South Side. Born into a community where gang affiliations often dictated one's path, Tooka's life was marked by the harsh realities of street life. At just 15 years old, he became associated with the Gangster Disciples, a notorious gang known for its long-standing rivalry with the Black Disciples. This rivalry was more than just a territorial dispute. It was a deeply rooted conflict that had claimed numerous lives over the years. Tooka's involvement with the Gangster Disciples was not uncommon for youths in his neighborhood, where joining a gang often seemed like a means of survival. However, this affiliation also painted a target on his back. As tensions between the Gangster Disciples and the Black Disciples escalated, Tooka found himself caught in the crossfire of a violent feud. On a cold January day in 2012, Tooka was waiting at a bus stop, unaware that his life was about to be tragically cut short. The circumstances leading up to his murder were steeped in the ongoing gang war, with his death reportedly being a retaliatory act for the killing of a Black Disciples member. This senseless act of violence not only ended Tooka's life, but also ignited a firestorm of controversy and notoriety that would echo throughout the hip-hop community for years to come. Tooka's tragic death did not fade into obscurity. Instead, it became a recurring reference in hip-hop culture, particularly through the music of Chief Keef and King Von. Chief Keef, an influential figure in the Chicago drill scene and allegedly affiliated with the Black Disciples, often mentioned Tooka in his lyrics. The phrase "smoking Tooka" emerged as a disrespectful slang term used to signify smoking marijuana, but with a grim undertone referencing Tooka's death. This phrase quickly gained traction, becoming a controversial part of the drill music lexicon. Years later, King Von, also associated with the Black Disciples, reignited the reference to Tooka in his music. In his 2020 track, All These Niggas, featuring Lil Durk, King Von rapped about Tooka, further embedding the slain teen's name into the narrative of gang rivalry and violence. These references were not just lyrics, they were a stark reminder of the ongoing tensions between rival gangs in Chicago. The impact of these references was profound, particularly on Tooka's family and the community. His mother, Dominique Boyd, expressed deep pain and frustration over her son's name being used in such such a disrespectful manner. For her, it was a constant reminder of the loss and the senseless violence that took her son's life. The community, already grappling with the cycle of violence, found itself divided over the glorification and trivialization of such tragedies in music. Up next is Lil Reese, a close associate of King Von, with both hailing from the notorious South Side. Lil Reese. Lil Reese, born Tavares Taylor, grew up in the harsh realities of Chicago's South Side. From a young age, he was surrounded by the challenges that came with life in the city, but he found solace in music. Inspired by the raw energy of the streets, Reese began to hone his craft, using rap as an outlet to express his experiences and emotions. His breakthrough came in the early 2010s when he collaborated with fellow Chicago rapper Chief Keef on the track I Don't Like. The song quickly gained traction, propelling both artists into the spotlight and solidifying Reese's place in the rap scene.
Now, you and Von were really close growing up together.
Yeah.
The paths of Lil Reese and King Von crossed in this dynamic environment, where collaboration and competition often went hand in hand. Both artists were part of the same circle, connected through mutual friends and shared experiences. Their collaborations, both on and off the mic, showcased their chemistry and ability to elevate each other's work. Tracks like So Many and Whoever highlighted their synergy, with each artist bringing their unique flair to the table. These collaborations not only strengthened their bond, but also solidified their status as key players in the Chicago rap scene. However, beneath the surface of their partnership lay a complex dynamic that few understood. While Lil Reese was known for his fearless persona, King Von's enigmatic presence and rising influence in the industry created an intriguing tension between the two. This tension, rooted in their shared history and individual ambitions, would later become a focal point in the narrative of their relationship. Despite their camaraderie, there were underlying tensions that added complexity to their relationship. King Von's rising influence in the rap scene and his growing fan base posed a challenge to Reese, who was already an established figure in the industry. This shift in dynamics may have contributed to a perception of fear or intimidation from Reese as he navigated the changing landscape of Chicago rap. Both men still remained close right up to when King Von died. Reese confessed that hearing about Von's death from his girlfriend made him terribly sad.
When you heard that news that night and then you saw that video, what went through your head?
Man, my girl woke me up and told me, like, yo, homie just got killed. I was like, what you mean, who? She was like, Von. And then I got on the internet and I seen everything. I was like, yeah, I was just like, I was up off the
Von was a man that was loved and hated by a lot of people alike, but his fans and ops had one thing in common, and that was a deep-seated fear and respect for him. It's that same fear and respect that still makes his name relevant today, even after his death. If you enjoyed this video, check out our other awesome videos on the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.